Hello, Sagittarius, Sagittarius rising people, and Sagittarius moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for the week starting June 5th, 2017. And a quick reminder for all of you Sagittarius people out there, if you're ever wondering why do astrologers say check your rising sign, check all those things out. You should check out the main video I have on the main channel page. It's at the very top. It's under a featured video, recommended viewing. Answers all those questions. And how to find out how to get that information. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. So what is going on with your astrology this week, Sagittarius? Well, cats are deciding to fight and argue and all kinds of silly things. But what's happening this week is actually much more pleasant than that. So this week we've got two helpful angles. In the beginning of the week, on Monday, we've got Mercury, planet of communications, haste, and speed in Taurus, your 6th house of work, reputation, and your schedule, forming a gorgeous connection to Chiron, currently in your 4th house of home and family. And this can be a nice way for a lot of you who've been having a hard time scheduling time with family, or if there's been any kind of schedule clashes or conflicts going on with family, how we're handling errands with children, responsibilities to relatives, issues with the home, things along those lines. There's a reconciliation happening here. If things have been a little bit lopsided at the office, maybe things have been just a little bit too busy or too demanding or incompatible, maybe even working a schedule that's been incompatible with your home lifestyle for a while, this will give you an opportunity to make that switch if you're looking to do so without costing you any more money. And that can be great news for those of you as well who are looking to maybe try and get away to telecommute or find a new job that'll allow you to, again, have a much healthier and much more sustainable work-life balance. Later on in the week, we've got Venus, planet of harmony, luck, affection, and pleasure in your 6th house of work, reputation, and physical health, forming a gorgeous connection to Mars, currently in your 8th house of shared resources and passive income. And this is definitely a romantic angle because it does talk about the opportunity to maybe actually get closer physically to a desired loved one, or maybe, you and your partner actually trying to make more time to get more of that romance, more of that spark into our space. When Mars is in the 8th house, remember, we're always working on understanding and celebrating more of the carnal together. And when we have Venus and Mars sextiling like this, if there's been a distance or maybe a gap in time where that's not been going on, or we've been waiting for the opportunity with a crush or a partner, everyone is sort of on the same page that it needs to happen at the end of this week, and it needs to become a new routine. So what is going on with your cards this week then, we may ask? Well, for your spiritual advice, we do have the card of the Elf Queen. And the Elf Queen can talk about, a need to understand the burden of being the leader. Whether you feel like you're the leader, if you're treated like the de facto leader, you literally are the leader or the boss or the head of your household, and what that really does entail, and where are we needing to pay attention to where that role needs to be better rounded for you this week, okay? Usually the burden of the leader as a theme of a week can talk about a need to pay attention to where, okay, is everybody, actually on the same page? Are we in a situation where people understand us clearly? Are we articulating our feelings, our needs clearly? Is everyone informed of our motivations and our desires for the jobs we are asking them to do? Because usually with the Elf Queen, we can kind of feel a little bit like it's almost an expectation that people would ask us questions when they don't. Okay? And sometimes when people don't know what's going on, they don't do anything. And that's always a big problem. Some people will wait to be told what they're supposed to do, even though it might seem self-explanatory, or they may be afraid to ask you. And sometimes we, as leaders, when we are put in a leadership position, again, either officially or just as de facto, we may end up in a situation where people are afraid to ask us for clarity and still won't take that initiative to do anything. So this week the burden is on you to make that crystal clear. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and your finances, we do have the 6 of Pentacles upright. Beautiful card because it does indicate people going out of their way and taking chances on you. When we see taking chances on you with the Six of Pentacles, typically what ends up happening is that somebody may even be making you some kind of offer. You could be actually getting offered a job or mailed an offer to accept, sign a contract for a new line of work, or quite possibly with the Six of Pentacles even taking a chance on you by trying to purchase your time, your energy, and your space. What I like about this card is it is one of the few cut and dry yes answers in the tarot deck. If you've been trying to get something from a boss, an employer, or a financial institution, and it does require somebody to, again, take a chance on you, or fork over some dough, or some time, some energy, or some just simply the time that you're asking for, what you're trying to get, or even a favor, we see people more inclined to comply and give you what you're asking for. What I like about the Six of Pentacles as well is that with the, when it comes to this energy financially, now is the week to be making those kinds of requests. And again, making sure everyone is informed. If you are in a place of power like this, the only thing you can do wrong is keep silent. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends, your relatives, and the others in your life, we have the Temperance card reversed. And this card can show up as sort of a what's happening out there, away from you, kind of energy, okay? And the Temperance card reversed this might not necessarily be happening to you personally, though it may affect you, indirectly in some way. Or directly, depending on how you share that space. Because the Temperance card reverse can indicate a drift sometimes going on in our social group. This could be a problem if it's a drift, say, in a roommate situation. You find out one of your roommates is, thinking about entertaining ideas of going elsewhere, or this is a work situation and a coworker or a client is, well, maybe not a client, but definitely a coworker, a teammate is, getting ready to take their leave. This could also be a situation where maybe even a couple around you is starting to actually drift apart, and you may be observing this. Whether or not you choose to interfere depends on you. But I am seeing that this drift is not a phase, and it may actually be the symptom or the outcome of something that's been going on behind the scenes for a long time. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. Knowing when it's time to let go of something that's not going to evolve or grow or improve. The Seven of Pentacles reversed can talk about, you sell when you see that investment starting to drop, that kind of thing. And the Seven of Pentacles reverse is kind of saying, look, what are we trying to salvage that should not be salvaged right now? Or, in the case of the Temperance card reverse, is there a situation that shouldn't, is the situation we're looking at, should it be salvaged? Should it be something, or are we getting in the way of the universe's cleanup crew? Are we trying to go against the flow? If something is naturally over and done and gone, trying to keep it around is going to take more and more and more energy. And sometimes with the Seven of Pentacles reversed, the shedding can be very healing. It can be very cathartic, because we could be getting rid of or releasing a tie to a person or an obligation that's already been bleeding us dry. And so this week your challenge is to know when to let something go. Don't hold on to the pride of the matter or the sense of obligation to the matter. If it's going to go, it's going to go. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Queen of Wands reversed. This week might be a little bit frustrating when it comes to love and romance. I'll be honest, okay? Like I said, don't check your rising sign. Because the Queen of Wands reversed can often indicate a situation where a crush or a partner may be becoming a little bit too preoccupied with their image and how they are being seen, to the point where you're noticing that maybe a partner or a crush is doing a bit of attention-seeking, maybe even becoming overly competitive for your attention. And while that can be flattering in the beginning, it's not really a good look when a person is, say, trying to, cut a wedge between you and your friends, or a parent, an adult partner is competing with, one of your children for attention. Like, that's not a good look. And the reason, I say it like that is because the Queen of Wands reversed usually does it in a way that's very brash, and very aggressive. It's not like the whole just being subtle. It's almost like, a bit more antagonistic. And there may be a reason that is, understandable for what this person is doing and why they're doing it that way. Sure, why the heck not? but the way they're doing it needs to be taken into account as well. You know, sometimes we want to be empathetic, we want to be sympathetic as much as humanly possible, so we think about the reasons people do something more than we think about the fact that what could be happening is causing more harm than good. I'm not saying that this is necessarily a bad person, there could be a lot going on, sometimes the Queen of Wands reverse has a tendency to project, but it does need to be called out. So that is your horoscope, Sagittarius. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.